Hello, welcome back to Kaiserreich. We're doing a little experiment this episode. I'm not using the music mod, just going to see and feel out how it feels and all that. Because the music mod has kind of been pissing me off lately, and also whenever I use it, I get copyright claimed, which means I can't make any money off the videos, and also that opens me up to the possible vulnerability of copyright strikes in the future if some of these companies that own the copyright would decide to manually go against my channel, or go after my channel, which, you know, is their right and is something they have the ability to do. But anyways, so, let's see. German Empire declared war on Denmark. So they joined the Reichspakt, then pulled out of it, with the Germans taking, I believe, some territory, northern Schleswig, and now they have declared war on Denmark. To take that, or to just, I don't know why, actually. Why have they... They must have done it to like, I don't know, take revenge? I actually don't know. For some reason the Danish are actually pushing through as well, which is kind of unprecedented, I would say. Alright, hold this. Advanced machine tools, cool. So what's going on here? Let's set these guys up to... Actually, no, it says the attack plan is all well and good. It might be just because we've got a lot of divisions that need to be moved. Let's focus on repairs, because we want to get supplies up towards our boys. So look at electronics. Let's do this one slightly out of time, but it boosts research speed by 8%, which is quite a lot. So it pays for itself. Oh, and actually we have here a brilliant opportunity for a rather ambitious and hard push, which I'm actually going to activate these guys, which I said I wasn't going to activate. Simply because the PSA do not have enough troops to respond to what's going on, and I'm going to just set these guys up for a spearhead. Hold on, the game's lagging a bit. For Seattle, which means they're just gonna rush out that way. Sniper selection, hold on. I'm actually not sure what this is going to do. We had a sniper program event in the CSA playthrough as well. For the first test group of snipers having left basic training, the question has been brought up. While the first test group was drawn from volunteers from all of the US Army, there has been significant performance difference between the Marine and Ranger volunteers compared to the regular Army volunteers. As such, both branches are contesting for the funding of the War Department to continue the sniper program. And we can only pick one. Which branch shall we support? Well, either Navy or Army experience. No, never mind, they both get it. So Army Rangers or Navy's Marines. That's a Marine there with an M1 Garand, I believe. I mean, that is an M1 Garand, but I believe that is a Marine. So Army Rangers would be kind of cool, but because I actually don't know enough about the U.S. Army Rangers in World War II. We're going to be using the Marines quite a lot. Reclaim Hawaii and all that. Possible wars with various nations that are off across the ocean. I don't know, first of all, before we get this army experience, I'm going to spend some of it. Let's improve our armored division a little bit. Wait, hold on. Heavy cavalry. Combat with 16. Combat with 20, as it should be. Heavy... shouldn't be heavy cavalry, we'll just call it a heavy tank division. Removing all this gives them a max speed of what? What's the max speed of our heavy tanks? Does not say on this, but... let's save this. Have a look at... actually, now we can just pick one. I'm gonna pick the Navy's Marines. even though the American Union state, I feel like, would be more, you know, country or like land warfare based in terms of their traditions, military traditions and stuff. We do need to like shift towards more naval stuff, and we need to actually improve our navy, because that is going to be our main source of force projection in the world, because that is just how America is situated and how America needs to like strategically operate. So we're going to go with the Navy's Marines, even though I don't know if it actually has any difference other than lore-wise, but it's what makes sense. And let's see. Recruit militias, don't need to. Push on the Pacific front, yes, why not? We've got resistance to occupation, we probably need... well, actually, we won't need MPs. We're going to capture a lot of this stuff really fast. So we're not going to have a drastic need for MPs, but we might want to make some, like, some cavalry. Would we call those rangers, or would we call those... what would they be, technically? Yeah, we're gonna train some cavalry that's going to be... like mounted police, essentially, in the future. Kind of like the Mounties of Canada, except they're going to serve a military police role. No more Lend-Lease from the Germans. That's too bad, because we're getting a lot of guns from them. That being said, though, we don't necessarily need it all that much. But yeah, we need some professional cavalry. Let's train up... That should be good. 12 divisions of cavalry should be enough. Sixth Army. What was this? This was just impromptu, sort of kind of ad hoc organization. No need to even worry about it. Honestly, just push towards Seattle. My plan was to have these guys push towards Seattle, but we probably don't even need to worry too much about that stuff right now. See, all their troops are sort of stuck down here in the... Oh shit, someone told me what this mountain changes. I think this is still the Rockies, and these are the Sierra Nevada mountains, I think. I might be wrong, but I think that's the case. Let's see, even more infantry. Yeah, I might, for a while, I might, like, swap between having some episodes with the music mod on, some without, depending on the thematic, or, you know, how thematically appropriate it is to have the music on. I can also look specifically for songs that aren't subject to the same copyright claims on YouTube. Oh, that's a lot of work. There are some Norwegian songs, for example, that are free. Or not like, you know, free use or whatever, but that at least do not get claimed. We now have a lot of steel because we've taken a lot of steel in the, like, Nevada region. By the way, if you think I'm bad at US geography in this series, you should watch a short one-off, well, it's not that short, it's like 23 minutes, but short for most of my videos, one-off video that I made where I played GeoGuessr on US only. That should probably be up by the point, by the time this video is up. If not, it's gonna go up like a day later, I think. But yeah, a guy from Discord was like, or Cobra from Discord was like, your US geography is lacking, you should do a US geography quiz, that would be funny. And I was like, that would be funny. So I played some GeoGuessr, and I did... Well, I'm not gonna spoil it. But it's not great. Did we capture these, or are these ours? I think we might have captured these. Shark class. Oh yeah, this stuff. Wait, no. Why are they over in Los Angeles? Huh. This song is pretty good. I think it's from Hoi4, I think, maybe, or one of the classic ones. Don't remember hearing it in Hoi4, don't think. Sounds like something out of like a Command & Conquer soundtrack, doesn't it? It could be from the current Hoi4 soundtrack, I just haven't listened enough to it. Iron God Romania capitulated, so the Donau Adriabund is doing fine work. Central America joined the Third International, that's worrisome, that's another possible enemy for us to fight. Oh, god damn it. There we go, and who are you? There we go. I just need to like reassign all the professional military army or divisions into singular armies so that we can actually keep track of them and keep them active. Norwegian Union has capitulated. Sweden took it. Not entirely unexpected. Greece is being... Greece is strong. Why is this... Why is that the case? Why is Greece so strong? Greece and Serbia are actually doing work. It might be because the Austrians are sort of engaged against the Helvetic Commune and Council of State in Geneva, and the Serbs, and they were engaged with the Romanians as well. Of course, now those troops are going to be shuffled over towards Serbia and Greece, so we might see a turn there against the winds or favors of the Austrians. We have enough factories now, so we probably don't need to be on construction repair anymore. I think we're actually going to go with the LeMay plan just because we're going to want a bunch of that strategic bombing stuff, and I haven't been doing enough of that in my latest playthroughs, and I kind of want to shake things up a bit in each playthrough. For example, like I'm doing a doctrine here that I don't usually do, which is superior firepower. I usually do the mobile warfare one. So I think we're going to go with LeMay's plan for the heavy fighters and the strategic bombers. Heavy fighters, of course, are excellent for aerial recon over the ocean because of the, extended range. And heavy fighters are generally, when compared to normal fighters, better at maintaining air superiority. So if you have the ability to build them, you're generally encouraged to do so. That being said, I don't often do it. I only do it if I have plans to build a strong navy. Because of, the aforementioned detection chance that they get. Probably don't need any more motorized. Actually, let's slow down light tank production because we're going to overproduce that. How are we doing for guns? We're not doing well. That being said, though, the moment we stop training more infantry and the moment the militia and all stop, like, reinforcing and all that, that stuff is going to change real fast. Let's go. Gotta take Olympia, because it's a victory point. We're very close to Sacramento, and San Francisco, which are 2 major victory points, which might actually cause the collapse immediately. Let's have a look. No, they need 31% or less, and... oh, sorry, 10% or less. Actually, those might be enough, considering how few they hold. That's 5 points, and that's... how much is that? Probably 5 points as well. Oh, 20, okay, so those two together might be enough, honestly. Portland is quite big. Russian Republic declared war on Alash Orda. Let's improve radar, because we're eventually going to put those on the ships, and we're going to build that up along the coastline and all that. Words you've no doubt heard me say many, many times before. We should probably set up a new attack plan. So let's see how the Qing is extremely strong. 13 to 15 million manpower on only extensive conscription. I know who I'm never declaring war on. At all. Their army is going to be so impossibly huge, and their manpower pool so impossibly large that they're going to be able to pull you into a protracted war of attrition. Kind of like how Russia often does. And they're going to be able to win that fairly easily. Unless you have, like, extremely elite troops that are able to very quickly land on every, you know, important victory point and all that. And lock them up in some specific important regions and then do, like, a ton of encirclements, but... that's probably not going to happen until like 1950 or something. So, no war with the Qing. Collapse of the Pacific States. It appears the Pacific States government is on its last legs in the American Civil War. Already most of its land has been swallowed up by the American Union State and other American factions, while there's only us. And what is left is but the last remnants of its army, now demoralized and suffering from mass desertions. The exact same event we got for the... CSA. Now this means that the war should be over, and also the fall of Paris at the same time. Take all states, and turn. America has been liberated. Huey Long and his allies have triumphed over all their enemies. With this victory, we can now celebrate a new era of peace. Though there is much rebuilding to do, we shall take this time to celebrate our victory. The real America still stands. So we got recovering from the Civil War, economic devastation from the Civil War, and then the Federalist and Syndicalist resistance. Now, Second American Civil War, the bloodiest conflict to ever descend on the New World is over, and as sobbing widows bury their dead, husbands and sons, the old regime falls, and the Canadian Commonwealth declared war on the Union of Britain. Oh boy. And the conservative and reactionary American Union State raises its flag above Washington. Reconstruction processes are being enacted, and President Huey Long has declared the end of the war a national holiday. The United States, thought to be the bastion of democracy, has fallen. What does the future hold for the new Southerner dictatorship? Only time will tell, but this war will be etched into the consciousness of the American people forever. The South won this time. So look, so rebuilding the country, we probably need to do this one. Every man a king, root out the traitors. We gotta do this one as well. We can start doing those decisions. Now, the militias have been... Well, this the militias, except for the Silver Legions, have been disbanded. This is now going to be called Silver Legion. Paraguayan congratulations. With the end of the conflict, it seems as though we finally have some time to breathe. Letters from Paraguayan citizens, personally thanking the Kingfish for his fight for freedom and against syndicalism, keep arriving from the small South American nation that regards Long as a true hero. Oh, that's interesting. So the people of Paraguay are like... They have some sort of obsession with Huey Long. As like a celebrity. The American Legion appointment. With the end of the Civil War comes a vacancy in the ever-important position of the American Legion's national commander. His last title holder, Smedley Butler, had foolishly sided with the syndicalists. Whomever takes this position will symbolically represent the veterans of the United States military and society, and thus our choice is important. The most common name floated up is General George Moseley, though his anti-Semitism does dissuade some from his nomination. Huey Long also believes that his friend and ally Fox Connor, who introduced Patton to Huey's cause, should have the position. William Pelly's name has also been placed onto our desk several times despite the door being locked. Who shall be appointed? National populism, paternal autocracy, or authoritarian Democrat. So we're going to do George Van Horn Moseley, despite him being kind of slimy. Then again, most of those people are. So now we need to reorganize everything here. So this is the First Army, and this is the Western Wolves. This is the Second Army. And they need a name. Actually, shit, no, this is going to be the Third Army. This is the First Army, this is the Minutemen. LeMay reform plan is done. Let's do immediately the root out the traitors, because that takes a while to finish. No new industrial concern. Let's see, let's start building some ships that we're going to need. We have the Navy experience to start setting up some new designs for ships as well. Let's make 2 dreadnoughts. USS Huey Long. I like it. Improved heavy carrier hull. This is going to be... this is going to be the, let's see, what class is this? Let's call it the Glory class. Going to make one of those. Also, we should probably check or change the Nebraska class here to have this here design. Or sorry, this here icon. I could also update the Nebraska class with better guns. That also makes them more expensive to build, and it's going to take a while then. Yeah, we have won the Civil War. How about that? We probably don't even need to call them the Minutemen, so the Minutemen, and this is not going to be Florida, this is going to be... actually not sure what we should call them. The Fighting 69th. Nice. Special Session of Congress. A rapid-fire session of Congress under Huey Long has been able to pass several enabling acts thus far. Exhausted by dictating President Long's orders, allies within the Prohibition Party and Old Democrats have come today to deliver a more radical proposal for their constituents. Pork barreling together is a bill for veteran back pay, and a proposal for Prohibition amendment. Prohibition is popular with conservative Protestants in the South, but it is seen as tyrannical by the so-called wet states in the North and West. Unfortunately, the big tent politics of AFP mean these bills can only pass together or not at all. Final decision lies with Huey Long, so we can get veteran back pay and prohibition, or we can get no veteran back pay and no prohibition. While division training time and division recovery rate is really good, and at the cost of the political power, that's worth it. So now we have prohibition in the American Union state. After a particularly fiery night of speeches at the Silver Legion's new capital city outpost, William Dudley Pelley has rallied his legion in favor of murder. What? An armed march occurred last night towards the presidential mansion with an open intention to kill President Long. Oh, what the fuck? Thankfully, Pelley had underestimated the support Huey had from the people of the capital city, and a firefight had broken out in front of the Second Civil War Memorial. Pelley's men folded quickly to reinforcing Minutemen, some of whom recognized Silver Legion traitors as their old comrades. By dawn, surviving Silver Legion traitors were arrested and Pelley himself sent to an insane asylum after being deemed mentally unfit to stand trial. What the fuck? Some people were saying you could have Pelley take over and then you can then go for the business plot, which is my original intent, but sadly, I think you need to put someone else as the leader of the American Legion, and I didn't, because I was told George Van Mosley, or George whatever, needs to be the leader of the American Legion to enact the business plot. Let's see, this guy, or this army is going to be led by Channel, sure. Joseph Holmgren probably shouldn't lead this army anymore. Let's put someone else in charge. Let's do William Hood Simpson. Trying to think of something to call them that isn't just like very, very, very stereotypical. Trying to think of like anything that harkens back to the First Civil War or something. But all I can think of is like names of generals and stuff. I'm also thinking like what they were doing in the Civil War. Well, these guys pushed through the Rockies up here. Maybe they won't have a name yet. Maybe they'll just be the Second Army, and this will be the Fourth Army. All organized under Union High Command, or Union Command. And this guy's going to have Infantry Expert because it's an absurdly good trait on Field Marshals, because they're going to be commanding a lot of infantry. And also Artillery Expert is so good as well because we're going to have a lot of artillery in, or support artillery. And I believe this also does account for support artillery. If not, I'm wrong, but I'm not going to click it yet. America United. At long last, America has been united under the American Union States banner. Traitors and would-be tyrants have tried to destroy and corrupt this great nation, yet we held firm and took control. A question has arisen, however, in those territories which did not initially rise up with Huey Long in the Civil War. Is this country the United States of America, or is it truly the American Union State? There is a longing among many to return to the stability of the Stars and Stripes, even if things have irrevocably changed. Should we appease them and show that the America Huey originally envisioned still exists? Or should we be the American Union State? Well, so we are going to go down the business plot, and I don't know which one is more appropriate, because we're not necessarily going to stay true to Huey Long's vision, but we're not necessarily going to, be the Union State in the way it was in the Civil War after the war anyways. I don't know. I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments on which one we're going to pick, because I'm not exactly sure which one we should go by. We have a lot of need for stability at the moment, and this one gives stability. I don't know, I'll leave that question up to you. Before we go though, or before I go though. Actually no, I can't, because the war's over. Never mind, I was going to check the casualties, but I can check the casualties of the second Weltkrieg. Fielded manpower 10 to 12, 3 to 4. Losses here 2 million and 1.25 million here. I believe, of course, the Commune of France is going to lose pretty handily with the Kingdom of France invading down in Bordeaux and Aquitaine, and the Germans pushing hard through the lowlands. And of course with the Canadians getting involved against the Union of Britain, preventing them from aiding with their considerable navy. Of course, also we do have the United States of Greater Austria, which still is struggling against the formidable forces of the Greeks and the Serbs. Either way, I want to say thank you so much for watching. If you would like, you can find, or you can look down in the description to find a bunch of relevant information, such as the mod, such as the music mod, such as my Twitter, my Twitch, where I stream every now and then, and my Patreon, where you can support me if you feel so inclined, and also the Discord community, which is full of nice and friendly people. Even though I can sort of act like a robot and be a bit crass now and then, I generally have the best intentions. Anyways, that is about it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.